to overthink it because sometimes when we overthink it, like we think it has to be perfect, and then it takes the authenticity out of it. You know
Out
what
of
I'm
it.
saying?
Welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women building their dreams while balancing work, family, and all the things. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, a wife, mom, marketer, and your side hustling friend here to teach you how to grow a brand that works for you and not the other way around. Whether you're a side hustling pro or just starting out, this is your safe place for real talk, actionable strategies, and the encouragement you need to keep going. We're here to help you make progress and not perfection. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's build your dream one step at a time. Hello, and welcome back to the Side Hustler Podcast. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, and I'm so excited to have you here today because we are diving into another social media audit. So, in today's hot seat, we have Kabila, who is a Houston baker, mom, and full-time corporate girly behind Capsy Creations, the dessert brand built straight from passion, family memories, and late night baking sessions after work. She's the baker that's behind custom cakes, cupcakes, cookies, jars, and treats that people use for everything from baby showers to weddings to those I just want to have something sweet because life be life in moments. We've been in each other's world online for about a while now and finally met in person recently a couple months ago at my co-working and content event. And now she's here getting a full social media audit on today's episode. So, in this episode, we're going to be walking through how to position herself as Houston's go to dessert girl, how to actually reach her ideal clients instead of just any followers, how to clean up her profile and her bio, her highlights and link strategy, and how to create content that actually drives real orders. So, in this episode, we're going to be clarifying her message. We're going to help her get in front of the customers that actually want to buy from her and teach her strategies that will help her to create content that converts those followers into paying clients. So, grab your notebook, settle in, and let's get into today's episode. Hello, Kabila, and welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast.
Hi, Carly. I'm excited to be here.
So excited to have you. So we've been in each other's world for a little hot minute now, and we finally
Yes.
met in person a couple
Mhm.
weeks ago. And now you're on the podcast to dive in all things related to your business. I'm so excited to have you on here. So before we get started, I want to give you some insight to share with the audience what you do. Tell us about your business, who you serve, and where they can follow you.
Okay, so my name is Kabila Ganal Ahmed. I am a Houston baker, mom, all the things, 9 to 5 chick. So I started Capsy Creations out of pure passion. I grew up with my mother baking, and I realized that when I graduated college, especially when I get off work, I'll just get into my kitchen and bake, share with my colleagues, take it to events, and everybody enjoyed it. And at one point, I was like, well, we can turn this into a business, even if it was just to pay for gas. That's something, right? So that's literally how Creations was born out of pure passion for baking and sharing it with the world. And I believe that my mission really is to serve through my baking. Where you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, it's all Capsy Creations. And I do serve a variety of people, wedding planners, people transitioning from if it's a baby shower to first birthday, if it's a wedding, bridal showers, just because I've had people just place orders like, I just want a cake. I just want to eat. And people just reach out to me to create those special moments for themselves or for their friends or for their families. And that is really what I enjoy doing, just helping you make all life's moments special because I believe that life is special. And if there's anything that I can do to make it a little more special for you, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I know that you're here because you wanted to talk about some things that you're doing on socials. And so one of the main questions or the first questions I like to ask is where do you see yourself being known for within the next 5 years? Like, what is your goal for your brand within the next 5 years?
So within the next 5 years, I want to be the person that you think about first when you think about anything sweet, whether it's cakes, treats, desserts, custom packages, sweet stuff for your events. That's my goal.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. And then as far as your current challenges with social media, with marketing your brand online, what is your biggest challenge that's holding you back from being able to achieve that?
My biggest challenge is getting to my target audience.
Mhm.
That's the one thing I struggled. I have a decent following. but I don't know that I have my ideal clients in there.
Mhm. I got you.
I want to
No.
be able to get to my target audience in a more in a clearer way, so to speak. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So let's dive in and let's get to work. We got to roll up our sleeves and we're going to get to work. So, the way that I like to break down the social media audit is in four different sections. So, we're going to talk
Okay.
about your name, we're going to talk about your bio, then we're going to move to your highlights, and then we're going to move to your actual content. Okay.
So
So,
name, bio, highlights, and then content.
yes. So
Okay.
those are the four categories that we're gonna focus on. So the first one that we're gonna focus on is your name, meaning your username and your at names. I mean your username and your actual name, which is the bolded part on your profile. So
Okay.
for all the listeners that are listening, tuning in, you can find Kabila online at Cabsy Creations, and it's KABSY, and then creations with a K. And then an S at the end. Okay, and so love that name. I think that it's super clear, it's branded. I wouldn't change it. Typically, I don't tell people to change their username unless they have like, four letter S's or three underscores or like a bunch of random numbers at the end. Your username is always unique to you, your brand. And so I typically don't tell people to change it unless, that
It's
is what
really,
what is
yeah.
in the username. Now, when it
Okay.
comes down to the actual name, which is the bolder part of your profile, yours right now says Kabila. You have the vertical sign and it says Houston Baker and Lifestyle. And so in that area, I typically tell people to load it with keywords because that is SEO friendly. When people are searching keywords to find bakers, desserts, sweet treats in Houston, they're going to type
Mm,
in, Houston baker, Houston desserts, Houston, whatever, whatever. And so you want to make
right.
sure that whatever words that they're searching for, you have them in your name. And so right now you have Houston baker and
Mhm.
lifestyle. I would get rid of lifestyle because no one is searching for lifestyle when they are looking for desserts. They're
Okay.
looking for desserts. They're looking for a baker, a bakery. And so I would probably do Kabila, vertical line, Houston bakery and desserts, or Houston's desserts and bakery or baker, or sweet treats, something like that. Those are keywords that I would search if I'm looking for someone to do a cake. If I'm looking for someone to do cookies, then I would probably put like Houston cookies or Houston cakes and desserts, things of that sort.
Okay.
And so in that name area, you can use up to, I want to say it's 64 characters. So you can load that area with keywords to make sure that when someone is searching for a baker,
Something.
desserts, you're popping up in the search engine because you have those keywords there.
Okay. So I had put it lifestyle there because I enjoy sharing bits and pieces of my life outside of
Mhm.
baking.
Yeah.
I'm a mom, I'm a wife, sister, friend, all of it. So that's really why I had put it. And a part of me is like maybe one day I'm gonna get some brand partnerships with that piece of me.
Yeah.
So that's really why I had put it there.
Yeah, and so that's totally fine, and I absolutely will encourage you to share parts of that, and we'll get into that when we talk about your content. But as far as like putting it in your name, I don't think it's
It does.
necessary
Okay.
because it's a waste of characters. And
Mm-hmm.
typically, when people are wanting to partner with content creators, they're more so looking for like what type of content that you already create. They're not more so concerned with the keywords that you have to position
Okay.
yourself as like a lifestyle creator, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so I would say changing it to include more keywords that are inclusive to what you do. And so yeah, and then with your photo, I think your photo is great. So it's like a photo that shows your face and then it kind of has like some decor and you're in the kitchen in the background. I think
Yeah.
that's super cute. I wouldn't change that. I think that that's solid as well. So did you have any other questions before we move to the next portion, your bio?
Name no questions with regards to the name. Mm-mm.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So if we're looking at your bio, it says wife, mama, baker of sweet memories. And then you have location, Houston, Texas. You have events, lifestyle, and faith. And then you have custom desserts at Cabsy Creation underscore treats. And then click and order now. Okay. So I loved the part about wife, mom, baker of sweet memories. I love that because you're showing a little bit of glimpse of who you are. I honestly don't think you have to have the location in your bio since you already have it in your name, Houston.
Okay. Okay.
So that way you can get rid of characters because characters are
Mhm.
always a sticky topic when it comes to the bio. You
Yeah.
only get so many. So I don't think you need to have Houston in there in two
See.
places. So you can remove Houston. And then the second line says events, lifestyle, and faith. I would change that. So I would more so focus on the types of treats that you create
Okay.
rather
So maybe
than
like
those things. So that way you can so when someone lands, they know what
they know.
exactly you do. And they don't have to ask you, well, do you do cakes? Do you do cookies? Do you do treats? Do you do, a little what are those things called? Shooters. Like you can have all of those things listed to where like, okay, I do cakes, I do cookies, I do cupcakes or whatever. You have that listed in your bio because that's more insightful. And I understand that you have like the lifestyle and faith because you want to be able to position yourself as a lifestyle creator in that aspect. And we'll get into that. But I don't think you
Yeah.
need to have it there because when
In
someone
there.
is landing on your page, they're more so landing on that page to book you for cakes and treats. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Okay. And then you have custom desserts and it says Capsy Creations underscore treats. Was that a previous page that you had?
So I have another page where I have just this like pictures of just treats. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't share anything about personal life on there. It's just like pictures of treats.
Okay, quick pause. If creating consistent content feels like a full time job on top of your full time job, then you're going to want to hear this. I am excited to bring to you Batch, which is a new marketplace platform that I and my co founder, Lauren, have created, built for entrepreneurs and content creators. This is the marketplace that is going to connect business owners and entrepreneurs who need content with vetted local creators who can help them plan, shoot, and edit their content all in one place. So many of you have asked, when am I going to be able to book you for a content day? When can you come to my city? Do you know anyone in my city that does what you do? And this is going to be the solution. So whether you're an entrepreneur who is tired of struggling to find reliable content creators, photographers, or maybe you're just a creator who's ready to get booked and paid without having to go through the social media marketing of your business, Batch is going to be the platform that bridges that gap. So, say for instance, if you're flying to New York for a speaking engagement and you need content there, or even if you have a vendor pop up event in New Orleans and you need content there, Batch is going to be the creator marketplace that helps you get high quality content to market your brand online. It's designed to help you finally show up online with strategy, with confidence, and create consistent content that converts and actually helps you reach your visibility and revenue goals without the overwhelm. So if you're ready to make content creation easier and more intentional, head over to batchcontent.com. That's BATCHED content.com. Join the waitlist so you are the first to know when Batch is launched in your city.
So that page is not hyperlinked. So I can't even click on it. Is it private or is it
It's
did
public.
you it's public?
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's probably because whenever you may have ran out of characters in your bio and sometimes when you tag another page in your bio, it wants to add an extra space at the end. So that's probably why it didn't hyperlink
Because
it.
when I go to edit, it shows it as if it was hyperlinked,
Mm.
like bluish. I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah.
But when I save it, let's see what it does.
Okay,
Okay,
now
you're
it's
right.
hyperlinked.
Now,
Yeah,
yes.
there we go. Yep. Okay, and so is this I guess so Capsy Creations is your personal page and then Capsy Creation Treats is
So no. Well,
no?
if you put it
Okay.
that way, possibly. So when I started Capsule Creations, it was really literally all just treats. Had not like I didn't show my face. Then I got to a point I'm like, you know what? Every time I post a glimpse on my stories, people engage a lot more with like my kids, my husband, or whatever. So and then I thought about me when I'm consuming social media. What am I looking at? I'm also I like seeing people's family stories. Like I want to know you, right? A little bit about you. So then I started sharing bits and pieces of family and life and everything, just to kind of create a little bit of balance there. And so I was like, okay, I have capsule creations where I can share every and anything. And then let me just create this treats page where it's just treats. Like if you wanted to just scroll and look at what does she offer without having to worry about my family pictures, so to speak, you have that to just look.
Mhm.
So
I
I don't know if it's helpful right now,
Mhm.
but you just want to look yourself like, well, it could be like my picture album, like an album with just pictures of everything that I create.
Yeah. And that is the sticky part about social media because I'm in the same position. Like I have my business page and I have my personal page. My personal page is where I share like, family,
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, if I find something if I go to the gym, if I'm going on a
Right.
date night with my husband. And then my business page, which is all things social media. But
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard. It's a pro and a con because you do get that sense of separation. That's a good thing. But it's like then you find yourself like, okay, well, which page do I post this on? Do I post this on A or do I post this on B? Or do I collab? And then the next thing
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're collabing on all of these pages. So then they look the same. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a struggle, I will say. When it comes to what I'm currently doing right now, and it's no right or wrong answer. And I feel like a lot of people kind of ask me this all the time like, should I have a business page? Should I have a personal page? When should I separate? And things of that sort. It just honestly depends on your goal. You know what I'm saying? If you want to position yourself as a lifestyle content creator and your goal is to partner with like, cookware companies and,
Mm-hmm.
bakeware accessories and brands and things of that
That's
sort.
actually one of my goals.
Okay, so if that's the goal, then I would say definitely, you could definitely combine the 2 because it's all under that same umbrella. Now,
Mm-hmm.
say for instance, if I have a baking company business, and then on the other hand, I wanna partner with, like, mom, brands and things of that sort, those are 2 totally different things. And so then it's kinda sticky, but
Yeah.
what I will say is do what will allow you to be consistent because that's what it boils down to. If
Mm-hmm.
having 2 separate pages and you can manage being consistent on both pages, then by all means do it. But if you struggle with being consistent on one page alone,
Mm-hmm.
like, just go but then there's also a strategy that you can implement where you're just like, popping little pieces of nuggets in there rather than, it's all personal content and no business
Right.
content.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so we'll get into that, but
I was about to say we'll get into
we'll
those
get into
details.
that. But I was gonna say, when it relates to this page, the Cavsy Creations page,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like if you wanna just keep one page, because I know that having 2 pages is hard, because
It's
I
hard.
I have to go
When
on
I
my
could,
personal
because
page
once upon a
occasionally.
time, I had my sister was helping me with the treat ones, like, because I have one thing I do have is like a backup of pictures, like a Google
Mhm,
Doc. So she would just go through, take pictures, and post, and so she was helping
mhm,
me just keep up with that. But life has gotten busy,
yeah,
and it's not down to me, and I'm just like, let me see how I can do this too. But
yeah,
I'm really focusing on Capsy Creations main page to see how I can be
yeah,
consistent, number one, and try to incorporate all those pieces.
mhm,
I guess that's why I need a proper strategy
yeah.
to help me do that.
Okay. So let's do this. So I would say once we change the second line to include all of the things that you offer, the
Mhm.
third line, I mean, you could possibly do that and keep the custom desserts page as like a portfolio of your actual like dessert, like final desserts if you want
Mhm.
to. And then but my thing is if you want when it comes to that, if you want to take like all of your content that you capture within the month of your client stuff and just schedule it out and have that just on auto post,
Ooh, mhm.
you
To
could do
just
that.
take care of itself.
Yeah, because it's basically just a portfolio page, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, you could just basically, like, say at the end of each month, you're gonna go through all of the photos that you have of all of the treats that you created for the month and just schedule them out. We don't really care about the engagement or things like that, we just want people to see our work.
Mhm.
So then just, you can use that page as a portfolio page. And then the last line where it says click and order now, I think that that is a good call to action. Let's see, click and order now. Yeah, we can keep that. We can keep that. So let's see. So now you have wife, mom, and baker of sweet memories. You can get rid of that vertical line after the
And
sweet
yeah, I just
memories.
saw that.
And then the second line is gonna say the things that you offer. The third line is gonna have your portfolio page of your desserts and treats that you created. And then the last line is the call to action, which you're telling them to click and order now. So let's look at your link tree and see what happens when I click that link. Free recipe book. Is that your lead magnet? Okay.
I hope I updated that link. That's a good one.
Let's see. Yeah. No, you did.
Okay.
So, plan your perfect dessert table without the
Yes.
stress.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Good.
I would swap the order of the order inquiry and the free recipe book. So I will put the order inquiry link first since you're telling them to click this
Point
link to
toward
place your
them.
order. And then I would probably change the words of that, like click here to place your order rather than order
Okay.
inquiry because sometimes people, have a hard time understanding what is what. So just make it like super simple. So click this link to place your
Order.
order and then the second one would be the link to your lead magnet, which is your free recipe book, which that could be the second link. And then Binnable recommendations, what's that?
So it was like a Amazon affiliate kind of thing, but with Binnable,
Affiliates.
where I
Okay,
would, yes, it's affiliate linking.
got it. And then you have a hot plate. What's that?
Hotplate is like it's where I have drops. So if I am doing like a cookie drop or a cake jar drop, people who have registered for the link will get the information of when it opens and when it closes to place their orders.
Okay, so maybe you should label that link something else, like
So
sign up for my like latest drops or something like
okay,
that.
so
Just
that is
because
more.
when I'm see how I'm asking you, like, what is this? What is this? What is
So
this?
somebody does go there and they don't even know what it is.
Exactly. So then you have your website and then you have your Facebook page, Amazon storefront, shout out Houston feature, Voyage Houston story time, and then e-gift cards. Is there a way that you could possibly have like these last like couple of links as like icons to where the link tree isn't so long with so many links?
So when you say icons, what does that mean?
Like icons at the bottom, so you know how like, when you click on people's link trees and they have like the Facebook icon, the Instagram icon, YouTube
Yes.
icon. I would
Uh-huh.
probably do that instead of having like because right now it looks like you have 3,
So
4,
many.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 links.
Okay.
I would try
That
to
tells
keep
you
it.
that I've not even been there in a while.
Yeah, yeah, I would probably try to, like, narrow it down to 5 links because it can get
Okay.
overwhelming when you see all of
Mm-hmm.
these links, and then people are just like, "I don't even know where you want me to go." So I would
Okay.
say choose the top 5 of the links that are priority and then just focus on having those there.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's good, and then you have your channel, Capsy's Creative Corner. Love it. Love, love, love. Okay, so that's good. Did you have any questions about your bio before we move forward?
Bio.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
Do
so let's
so yes, I do.
what's up?
On the part to list out the stuff that I do, does it have to be an exhaustive list? Because then I'm going to
Mm-mm.
be limited on characters, right?
Yeah, just I would say pick the top 3.
Okay.
Mhm.
That makes sense. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Cake jars, and chocolate treats.
Mhm.
That should work. Because then I have enough characters for that one.
Yep. I think that's solid.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at your highlights. So you have the first one is about motherhood and it says our story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this one has a lot of content from 2020. 2018 is the first one. So I would probably go through and kind of like archive some of these things.
How do you archive old stories?
Yeah,
Old
so
highlighted stuff.
when
Because
you
what I've been
go.
doing, sorry to cut you
No,
off.
you're fine.
I think like some of them have gotten really full. So I know like if I want to add something, I have to go delete something.
Mhm.
So I don't know how to archive.
So if you're on your page and you click on the highlight,
Mm-hmm.
it'll pop up and then swipe up
Okay. No,
or
that
no,
doesn't look
sorry, not
right.
no, sorry, don't swipe up. When you're on the highlight, at the bottom
Yes.
corner where it says more, the 3 dots, you'll go
Yes.
to edit
Archive.
highlight and then
Edit.
uncheck some
Okay.
of the stories.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
That works. Yes,
So
because this
yes,
is old,
so
old.
I would definitely go through and clean that up. You have your reviews, which going back to the first one, sorry. I would probably label that one like a about me.
Okay. Instead of okay.
So For the first highlight that says "Our Story," I would go in and clean that one up, but then change that to an "About Me" one, and then the second one, I would definitely keep the reviews, and you have one for your links, you have one for Eventpress, breastfeeding, which I probably wouldn't have highlighted because breastfeeding, and we'll get that into the content, but I wouldn't have it highlighted because highlights are gonna be areas that are resource libraries for your potential customers that want to book your services. So you want to have the things highlighted that are necessary to move them from a prospect customer to a inquiring customer.
Good.
So yeah, I would go through each one of those highlights and just clean them up. Get rid of anything that's not like recent. So like anything that's not captured from this year,
Here, it has
get
to
rid of
go.
it.
Okay, so anything
And
is
then get rid of the breastfeeding one, and then change the covers for the classes and the Q&A, so that way it's all, like, cohesive with your branding. And that's what I would do for the highlights. Did you have any questions about
okay.
that?
So take away breastfeeding,
Mhm,
change the cover for classes in QA so it's consistent with the other ones.
mhm.
Uh, I already renamed the about me part. Okay, that seems very clear.
Sorry, I think someone's at my door.
2024.
Who is
Uh,
this? Okay. And then let's see. So, did you have any other questions regarding the highlight?
that's it.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how you delete a highlight.
The same way. So you click on the highlight, and then
Edit.
in the bottom, the 3, just
Mm-hmm.
archive, or wait, is it edit?
Because I went to edit and it's like I have to click stuff. So I don't know if that's the right
Mm,
place.
oh, if you're on your profile,
Mm-hmm.
press and hold the highlight that you wanna delete, and then it'll
Okay,
say,
delete highlight. There we go.
"Any other questions?"
No other questions. Thank you.
So let's go into your content. So when I go through the content, I typically focus on like your most recent 12 posts. So just for FYI. So the first one I'm looking at is your pin post that you have the cake, and that is, could you use some midweek joy? Need a pick me up. This is basically showing your cupcakes and cakes from for a bridal shower. Okay. And then you have one, how did I get here? So that's a little bit about you. And then what it's like to order from Cabsy Creations.
That one was not pinned. That's just the last one. The
Oh,
last
okay, okay,
post
okay.
from yesterday. I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't pin that one.
So what I probably would do here is, instead of the bride to be one, I would probably have a carousel post of all of your like best top treats, cakes, things of that sort. Like your best pieces of work that you've done. I will put them all in a carousel post, and then the first slide I would say something like, the different cakes or cupcakes that we offer, or treats that we create, something like that, to where it gives them a scope of like all of the things that you have done that you can do. So I would do like a cake, a cupcake. I'll have a photo of a cake. I'll have a photo of a cupcakes, treats, the cookie
Okay.
jars, like all of the things that you've created that you like to
Mm-hmm.
create. I would put it in one carousel post and have it pinned at the top. But make sure that the first slide is labeled so someone knows what they're looking at. So like what we do or how we do it or something like that. Um, I do like the what's it like to order from Capsy Creations. I think I would change that to how to work with us or something like that. So you give
Okay.
people a glimpse of like the process of what that looks like. So, what is the time frame that they have to reach out to you by? So I know that like if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, could be like, I have an event tomorrow. Like, is it possible for you to come up, with some type of thing of, you know what I'm saying?" So I would definitely have like a how to work with us. Step one, you fill out the inquiry form at least, 2 weeks prior to your event or 3 days prior, whatever that looks like. You place your order, you give us inspiration, you do blah, 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 blah. And
Pretty
then,
much just clean this one up.
yeah,
Like we redo this one.
yeah, but make sure
Mhm.
it says like how to,
How
because this one is
to?
I mean, it has a lot of words and it's kind of sounds the same, but you want it to just be clear on what that
Mhm.
post is about, and then I would pin that one.
Okay.
So then that means that your top 3 pin posts would be how to work with you, the things that you do, and then who you are. So your
Yeah.
about me would stay. The cake one, I would change to like a portfolio carousel post of all your treats. And then the third one is like kind of like the how-to steps to work with you.
Mhm.
Because that's the main thing that we're trying to get people to convert from like people that just look to booking a cake, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, and then let's see. So baking myth number 2 actually wait, it went away. Made me side eye someone. Okay. See the caption. Then you have you washing your pumps. Then you have some treats. Those are bomb.
Thank
What
you.
makes a custom cookie order premium? I love this carousel. Are these your cookies?
Thank you. Yes.
Oh wow. What the heck? How'd you get like some like perfect font? That's amazing. I love that. The first thing is when you think about your content, I want you to think about a pie chart. And
Pie
so,
chart.
yes, like a pie chart. A pie chart.
I'm an engineer, so I'm like pie chart. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I like to say majority of your content is going to be related to your business. So like let's
Mhm.
just say, maybe 75%. That's a good one. 75% is going to be related to business and those are going to be in the format of reels, carousels, talking head videos, feed posts, things of that sort. Now, the other 25% is going to be split between like behind the scenes of your business, meaning, all of the things related to what goes on behind the scenes. Like give us a little bit of
Mhm.
insight on how you manage your business. And then the other remaining half, so if we have 75, 25 divided by 2, what's that? 12.5?
12.5.
Yeah, 12.5. So 12.5, look at me. 12.5 BTS. And then also another 12.5 is going to be personal to you. So think about motherhood, me managing a business while also having a kid, while also being a wife, while also working a job, like, all of
Mhm.
those things, okay? Because that
Right.
brings together the whole enchilada of who you are. And
Fact.
I do feel like it's important for people to see the person behind the brand because we like to connect with people, you know what I'm saying? If I'm a mom that, is also running a business and I find someone that is also a mom that's running a business that does the thing that I'm looking for, I'm more likely to pick the person that looks like me rather than the person that doesn't look like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But how
Community.
can we know if that person looks like you and is like you if you don't give us a little bit of
A
glimpse of place
glimpse.
to connect? So I want you to share like a little bit, and it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Just like the breastfeeding content, I think that's a perfect thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives people a thing of connection. Like, you're a mom entrepreneur, you have a little baby, you're breastfeeding while also running a business. That is pretty damn awesome. So I would definitely continue to share that. And then when it comes to brand partnerships, the things that you're wanting to land, you want to make sure that you're tagging those brands. So just like you did for Mom Cozy,
Mhm.
when you're posting behind the scenes of you running your business and you're talking about breastfeeding while baking cookies, like tag Mom Cozy so they can see how amazing of a mom you are and amazing of a boss woman you are because you are breastfeeding on the go. Listen, I feel kind of triggered because I was a breastfeeding mommy and I had like my little wireless pumps with me everywhere I
Everywhere.
went. Like
Yeah, actually,
I be on the
you were
meetings.
talking in the front. I was pumping on in the doing content and co-working.
Yes.
I was pumping in the back.
Yeah.
When I
See?
hit my like 3 hours, okay, it's time to. It's that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And things like that, like people really can connect because they know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like many moms can relate to like all of the things we have to go through, and then it's time to pump. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think that that is a good way to connect. And it's so funny because when I first started my business, I was a new mom. And I was on my stories one day and I was just kind of like emptying my pumps and I was
Mhm.
talking while I was emptying and people were fascinated, like, oh my gosh, like you just pumped all of
So
that
you see,
milk?
my problem sometimes is I don't like when I'm doing all those things. Like for instance, I'm still sitting on the content where because I took a video, thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
when I was pumping during the session. I haven't shared it yet. I'm like, what do I really say? That
Yeah.
also I get stuck in that mindset
Yeah.
too. And then I'll overthink it and just be like, okay.
Yeah, and that's
Next
the
thing
thing. I wouldn't even overthink it because sometimes when we overthink it, like we think it has to be perfect, and then it takes the authenticity out of it. You know
out
what
of
I'm
it.
saying? And so even if you just express like this is what being a mompreneur looks like, I'm at a workshop,
That's a
but
good one.
I also have obligations as a mom. So I'm pumping, but I'm also locked in, and that could be
Yeah.
something that you share. And so many people will be like, whoa, totally get it. I can relate. Like, this is what it's like being a
I
mompreneur,
love that.
especially with with
Yeah.
a little baby.
Mhm.
And so I wouldn't do not overthink your content. Whatever is the first thing that comes to mind, just put it on there and just post it and let it be. It doesn't have to be pinned up. It doesn't have to be dressed up. It doesn't have to be fancy, anything like that.
Right.
So yeah, and then when it comes to the 75% of your content related to your business, I want you to think about what your goal is for that moment, for that season. So say for instance, if you are doing your cake drops, if that's what you're focusing on in that season, then
Mhm.
all of that 75% of that content is going to be related to your cake drop. So you're going to
Exactly.
be posting content related to the cake drop, telling people to click the link to get access to the cake drop. If your focus is doing a class, a baking class, then, you're going to be creating content focused on that goal.
Uh,
So I would say think about your business in quarters in like segments. So say for instance, if you're like, okay, from September to October, I'm focusing on a class or I'm focusing on a cake drop, then all of the content you're going to be creating is going to be related to that cake drop. So even if it's like you in the kitchen and you're like making somebody's cake or somebody's cookies, you're recording it. Maybe you do a voiceover and you're like, oh, this is amazing. I'm doing this cake for my client. But while I'm here, I want to let you know that on so and so day, I'm doing a cake drop. Make sure you click the link in my bio to grab your
mhm.
tickets or to secure your spot or whatever that looks like. And so whenever you think about that, think of your content or think of your business in seasons, whether
Let's
that's a
see.
2-month spread, a 3-month spread. What is the goal for that 3 months that we're focusing on? And then create the content to align with that goal for the 3 months. And so say for instance, if it's a 2-month time frame, 3-month time frame, you want to think about how many times do you want to post within that time frame. If it's 2 times a week, if it's 3 times a week, you can do the math and figure out how much content you need and then
Mhm.
batch all of that content to relate to back to your
That
goal.
whatever the goal is. Okay.
Like when people struggle with like, I don't know what to post, it's more so because they don't have a goal in mind on what they're trying to achieve. If
Very
your
true.
goal is to get 15 people to sign up for the cake drop, then let's create content to get
For
15
the cake.
people to sign up
Yeah.
for the cake drop. You got
Yeah,
me?
because it's like similar with my email list. I'm like,
Yeah. So same
doesn't
thing. So if
have
your goal is to get 100 people on your email list, then let's do a 2-month sprint of content pushing your lead magnet to get people on your email list. So basically your free recipes, right? Cuz that's the lead magnet that you're pushing.
yes.
So then that would basically be you taking content that maybe you're making recipes, but you're addressing the goals that lead magnet solves or challenges that lead magnet overcomes. So say for instance, the reason why you created the book was probably because people wanted to bake but didn't know where to
Recipes.
start. Or maybe you don't know how to bake, or maybe you just want to bake for fun. So you create content that calls out those things. You're like, are you struggling with coming up with recipes to create for birthday parties, family functions, things of that sort? Well, I have a free recipe book for you to grab. Click the link in my bio to get it, or comment recipe and you get it.
It's a good point.
Yeah, so you would just basically do that. And what I like to do at the beginning of any type of campaign that I'm running, I like to draft out like a column of each goals and then challenges. So I'll
Yeah.
write out like 5 goals that someone has related to recipes. 5 challenges that people
Challenges.
have related to recipes. So then when I'm trying to brainstorm like what content to put out, I'm going to go back to my list and I'm going to see, okay, one of the challenge they have is that they don't know how to bake. Okay, so if you don't know how to bake, this is a perfect
Perform
guide
for
for you.
you.
Yes, this is a perfect guide for you to use to teach you how to try, easy recipes to
How
learn
to
how to bake.
bake.
Or even if your goal is to show up to your family function with some amazing desserts, then this free recipe guide is for you. Click the link in my bio to get started. That's how you kind of adjust those things. And you can
Yeah.
put them in different formats, whether that's talking head videos, reels, where it's like the B rolls and overlay text or
Mm-hmm.
voiceover, or even if it's like a little mini vlog of you, but you're just like, talking about it as a voiceover, you could do that too.
A great idea. Because now when I think about it, I'm like, I have a bad habit of, for instance, like the hot plate dry. I think I was working on it 2 weeks ago, and I don't think anybody even signed up. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, what's
Yeah.
next? So I don't. Now you're saying that I don't think I made enough noise about it
Mhm.
to get
Yes.
the traffic that it deserves.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So and that's the thing. We have to get into the habit of like being very intentional and focused on one thing at a time, because that's
Mm-hmm.
how marketing works typically. Especially when you're starting out, when you're telling people so many different things at one time, they don't make any decisions. And so you have to be very like narrow focused, like, okay, for the next 60 days, I'm only talking about the drop.
Yes.
So
Yes.
all of my content that's on my stories, on my feed, is only going to be about the drop. And that's going to be that. Once this 60 days is over, I may move on to my baking class. Maybe I'm doing a baking class for the holidays. Okay, bet.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Which I want to do.
all of my content is going to be related to this baking class. And that's just that. We're not talking about the drop. We're talking about the baking
Yeah.
class.
Yeah. Focus.
Exactly. And so that's all my feedback for.
Thank you.
So do
It's
you
good
have
feedback.
any other questions?
Yes, I do. Let me pull up my question.
Okay.
You may have already answered some. So, from your perspective, do you feel like I have it currently as it stands with the little additions that we have made? Do you feel like I have a clear brand message at this point? Like, if somebody came to my page, do they know what I'm about?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I want to make sure I'm positioning myself like I'm just not a baker, right? Like, I'm all of that.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with just being a baker. And I don't wanna say just a baker, because
Mm-hmm.
when you go on my page, I'm just a content creator, you know what I'm saying? But through, like, my content, you'll start to, like, pull the layers
Other
back
things.
of the things. Like, you'll see little glimpse of my son and my husband, or you'll see me, building my tech app, or you'll see, me working my business. So
Right.
I think that we should not focus on trying to not be just a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mm-hmm.
good thing to be just a thing, and not just a thing, but you know what I'm saying, to be niche
Mm-hmm.
specific.
Yeah.
Because when you focus on your niche, that's when you really, really can thrive and really hone in on dominating in your industry. It's when we're trying to do all of these things, it's like that's when it gets confusing to where people are like, well, what are you?
What am I
You know?
doing?
So if your goal is to be a baker and to be a really, really good baker, to be a well-known baker in Houston, then I think you're on the right target. But if you're like, I
Okay.
want to be, this person and that person and it can get confusing to someone.
Yeah.
So I would say if your lane is to be a baker, then own the baker.
Own it.
It's nothing wrong with being just a fill in the blank. Nothing at all.
Have you ever found yourself stuck on what to post or struggling to stay consistent on social media? I've been there, and that's exactly why I created this free guide called 30 Days of Done For You Social Media Prompts for Personal Brands. This guide is loaded with prompts to get your gears turning so you can have a gallery of content to create for your brand and never stress about what to post again. And you can grab it right now at cdcreativecoagency.com/content and start creating content that connects without the stress.
So how do I turn my current followers into customers and or how do I attract my customers?
Yeah. So you turn your current followers to customers by telling them, to buy from you. That's number one. Call to actions are important. We talked about this in co-working and content,
Mhm.
but we post content, but we don't tell people what we want them to do. And then also, that goes back to email marketing too, because my thing is like, how are you telling people on a regular basis to buy from you currently? How are you doing that?
Email list and Instagram. I
Mm-hmm.
have not been as consistent on my email list, which is something that I'm really working hard to do. But then I realized also going through my email list, I'm like, there's a bunch of people that I'm like, you're not even in Houston. So you will not even really buy. So why are you on this mail list? That's what also made me feel like I'm not really talking to my audience.
Mhm.
It's just like a bunch of anybody. Oh, she has an email list. I'll just join like across the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So there's
So
that piece.
what you would do, because that's the same thing that happened to me, because 'cause I'm a local business too, most of the clients that I serve are here in Houston, and
Mm-hmm.
so I had a lead magnet that was very broad. It was about content location or no, content prompts to help you on social media. Anybody can grab that, whether you're in Nebraska, whether you're in California,
Yeah.
whatever, whatever. So then I was like, "Okay, I'm getting all these influx of people that are not here to Houston that does nothing for my business right now in this moment." Like my goal is to attract people in Houston. So what I did, one was I created a lead magnet specifically for people in Houston. And
Okay.
that was my content locations in Houston
Mm-hmm.
guide. So most of the people that only grabbed that were people that are in Houston.
Houston.
Uh-huh. And then another thing that I did, which I don't know if you have like a little bit of, money to play with, but I also ran like a local ad that was about my content days. So it was like a little ad that I ran on Facebook ads, and I only targeted Houston as my area to bring more traffic to my page from people that are here in Houston. And then I had my lead magnet for my Houston specific lead magnet pinned to my page
Mm-hmm.
at the top. So when the ad showed up on their phone, they were like, "Who is this girl?" They clicked
Mm-hmm.
on my page and then they saw my lead magnet, and then that's how they got on my list.
Makes sense. So I need something Houston focused
Yeah.
to use as a lead magnet so that I
Mhm.
can get Houston.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
I have the answer to that one. Am I using email list? Okay, that we just talked about that. This is an interesting question. What would you do first if you were in my shoes to try to hit a 5K month?
K month.
Yes.
But so number 1, I would probably do like a ad. Basically like a promotion or something, specifically for Houston. So say for instance, if you're doing like maybe I don't know how like your average price of a cake or something, but also because the holidays are coming up, people don't like to bake, people don't, and I don't know if you're anything like me, my whole family's birthdays are in Q4. Like my birthday, my son's birthday, my
Mm-hmm.
brother's birthday, like everybody's birthday's in
But it's
Q4. My
Q4.
sister's birthday. So you could run a promotion, basically maybe doing like some kind of deal
Deal
for
for
Q4.
the Q4.
Yes, for Q4, and it doesn't have to be, like, to where they have to book it, like, specifically now. I would say, like, this is a promo that you can cash in, in Q4. It has to be done in Q4, but if you wanna secure it now, you have to
You
secure
can
it
do that.
by September
Essentially.
30th. I will also go through and email all of my people and tell them about this promotion. That's number 2.
Email it.
Another thing that I would do is I would also I talked about running the ad. I talked about the promo, and I honestly would just start there because
Mhm.
I feel like that's when I hit my first 10K month was when I ran a promo, but um I learned very fast, like, how to make sure that I have the capacity to even be able to do that. So, you also wanna take into account, like, what is your capacity?
Can I do?
Yes, because if you're, like, trying to hit a 5K month, but your offer is $100, like, it would take you
Take
500 of
forever.
those, right?
Yeah.
500, 50?
Mhm.
50, 50 if it's
50 of those. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
50.
to hit that goal. So do you
It's
have the
not
capacity to take on
for
50
50.
orders? So I would take into account, like, come up with some type of offer that you can kind of push in to attract local Houston people, and then either put it behind an ad, talk about it on your content, send it out to like your previous clients, and that's what I would do. Is that something have you tried, like, using your email list for like previous people that have booked your services? Have you also added them to your email list?
Of 'em.
Hmm?
Some of them.
Okay.
Some
Okay.
of them.
Yeah. So I would definitely do that. Come up with a promo to kind of like wake up the people, get them excited, get them engaged. Tell them like, you have to use this by a certain deadline
Yes,
and
yes,
tell
yes.
them that you only have 10 spots
10
or
spots
however
open
many.
only.
Yeah.
If that's fabulous, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. And
Well,
then if that's your promo, all of your content on the feed is going to be related to the
needs to.
promo.
So that means that the goal or whatever the focus is whatever is what's going to drive the content
Yes,
for however
absolutely.
long it's
Yes,
going to take, so to speak.
yes.
And how long do you recommend, say, on average? For instance, if I wanted to do, say, cake drops or cupcake drops, how long would you recommend that I start? How long would you recommend that I focus on that piece of content
Yeah, that's a good
before
question.
moving to something else?
Yeah. I mean, you can do it for however long you want. It's basically a campaign. So you can
Mm-hmm.
have a campaign however long you want. I mean, it just depends on what you feel like you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Because
right
like
now,
people can
my
use
email marketing campaign is only 3 weeks because I started it at the end of
celebrating.
August and
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to end on the 17th. So that's literally only 3 weeks. So you decide how long you want to, focus on that time frame for and then build out your campaign based off of that.
Feel like I need to do something to get my mailing list in a better
Yeah, so you could do a campaign to build your mailing list, and if the goal is to get more
Houston.
Houston leads, then create a
Yes.
lead magnet specifically
For
for
Houston.
Houston leads.
That's what I need to work on.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got homework to do.
you do.
I got
You
homework to
do.
do.
You do. Yes. Did you have any other questions?
No other questions. Thank you.
Of
This
course.
was great.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I hope that you have some good marching orders to get you along your way.
Oh, girl, I do. Probably more than I have the time to do or the
That's
capacity
okay.
right
Just
now,
take
but
it
we'll
one by
figure it out
one, step by step. You don't build this thing in a day. It takes
overnight,
time.
right?
Yeah, it takes time. But you got it. You got it. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Camila, for joining me today on the podcast.
Thank you,
And for
Carly, for
all of our
having me.
listeners, make sure that you follow her. If you're here in Houston, make sure you get with her for all of your desserts, all of your treats, all of your cakes. I'm going to have to talk to you because I have an upcoming birthday. So
Girl, I'm here for all your Q4 birthdays.
yes, yes. So make sure you follow her and stay connected. And you see her content, give her some encouraging words, love on her, and all of the things.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. I hope you're leaving here today feeling inspired and ready to take your next step. If you love this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another side hustler who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Carly Dorlin. I'd love to hear about your side hustling journey. Remember, you're doing better than you think, and your dreams are so worth it. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this.